What does it mean to be happy? Is it more than being content? Is it just a fleeting moment or is it sustainable? Can we maintain a state of happiness or should we even try? Welcome to Calm in the Chaos Interfaith Center, where we strive to find that groundedness, the core of calm to get us through each day. I recently learned of a woman whose husband was in the late stages of a terminal illness, but whose mind was not affected at all. He and his wife had had a difficult conversation about end of life, and when he realized that to a degree, the end of her life had already happened as well. She had been caring for him at home for several years and had put her own life on hold. The things she wanted to do, the activities that kept her whole and gave her strength and made her happy. During that conversation, he set her free. His love and affection for her ran so deeply that he was able to give her permission to go about living now. He wanted his last bits of her memory to be happy ones. They had not shared physical intimacy for a long while, and he included that in his pronouncement of her freedom. If she found someone to give her what she needed, even before his death, he assured her it was fine. Now, in my observation of current culture where we live right now, I feel this kind of love is a diamond among the stones. Love isn't about how we feel when we're with somebody. Love is wanting the very best for the other person. The most profound words I've ever heard spoken were these: I love you so deeply that I want you to be happy, even if it's not with me. Loving someone doubles our life's joys and celebrates and helps to lessen the burden of life's tragedies and disappointments. When we share true love, we find more courage knowing that someone is beside us to celebrate the highs and help us to get back up from our lows. When we share true love, we may experience less fear, knowing that there's a champion in our bunker with us. Several of my friends and I discussed loneliness last week, and one of them offered that America is the loneliest nation on the planet. I don't know if she read that somewhere or if it's just her observation. The comment triggered a memory in me where I had read that Finland is the happiest place on earth. Raising Finland to this lofty height came about when a long list of criteria by which nations were rated, according to reports of their citizens, was listed in a national international magazine. Now, I know your brain just went here. Where did the US come in? The US came in at number 24 on the happiness report. Some of the criteria used to create this happiness scale and that what the criteria was judged on were social support, life expectancy, freedom, high levels of trust among citizens, GDP per capita, which indicates a nation's general economy and people's sense of well being and work life balance. And then there were the personal anecdotes from Finns that I read. Quote, don't sit on the sofa, get out and do something. Unquote. Modesty is the Finnish key to happiness. We don't wish or expect much. We just want to be in peace. Finns are happy. That comes from low expectations and from not taking things too seriously, enjoying peace and silence, and of course, sauna. Finns are content with what we have: a solid social structure, highly educated, very professional work ethics, mutual tolerance among our own, absolutely trustworthy. And once they trust you as an outsider, you become part of their inner circle. They have one of the lowest crime stats in the world. Our purpose isn't to earn money and be rich. We don't speak with each other ever about this matter. Very peaceful nature and how we protect it, enjoying little things and trusting the police, the government, and the president, despite what your opinion is. Freedom to the media, education, and Medicare. Now, before you think I'm ready to move to Finland, I assure you I'm not. But I see some valuable comments about the state of people's relationship with one another and with the world that I may want to intentionally move towards. But I've noticed with all Nordic countries, and you know by now Iceland is my favorite, there is a downside to their being near or over the Arctic Circle. The extreme amount of time spent in darkness can lead people to alcoholism and suicide. No place is perfect. Here's my theory about happiness. Happiness and contentment are two different things, and I strive for the second. How about you? I see happiness as a temporary feeling derived from having had an experience, whereas contentment seems to be a deeper, long lasting way of being. Contentment is accepting and being satisfied with what life has dealt us and is not dependent on an external activity or an experience or a person for it to manifest. So we've touched on two different ideas today: loving someone deeply and personal contentment. Two different things. One is giving outward, and the other is going inward. Both experiences lead to a balanced and whole life. Loving someone requires us to look through a different lens, to see life from their side, whereas personal contentment requires us to do the same reflection on our own lives, to evaluate from time to time the quality of our activities. Are we spending our time on the planet doing things that lead us to being the best version of ourselves? And let's be honest, it takes time to actually define what that might look like. What does the best version of me look like? What's the best version of you? We have to figure that out. And then I need to check the boxes beside the ways I spend my days. Does bathing my dog lead me to my best life? How about chairing the decoration committee, or fixing my nephew's bike, or listening to a friend's frustrations, or attending a Broadway play, or repotting a plant? Yes, these can all lead to contentment, a life that is whole and purposeful and calm. And right there, I just defined what my best self looks like: whole, purposeful, calm. And for those who have known me for a while, you might know that calm hasn't always been my go to adjective. I've intentionally faced that direction and taken steps over the years. Let's circle back to the Finns and their definition of a contented life. Don't sit on the sofa, get out and do something. Do something. Go bowling. Teach a child how to play a card game. Take a walk and photograph something interesting. Every health profession in my world promotes being more active. The people living in the blue zones of the world, those regions where it is common to be healthy at age 100 and beyond don't go to the gym. Their daily lives of growing their own food, hanging the laundry, walking to town, harvesting grapes to make wine keep their bodies in great shape. Modesty is the key to happiness, said the Finns. Finns don't want or expect too much. You know, that one sounds a whole lot like Buddhism to me. Buddhism teaches us that expectations are what lead to suffering. Being content with what's in front of us and knowing that it is all impermanent teaches us to not put too much value on material goods. All of this opens the soul for contentment. Finland has a solid social structure. The people are highly educated with very professional work ethics and a mutual tolerance among one another. Let us all pray for and work towards a higher level of education in our nation. Education that advances beyond memorization of dates and facts and values critical thinking. Education that teaches how to doubt, how to research trusted sources, how to dialogue and disagree with one another with respect and dignity. This kind of education builds and promotes a more professional work ethic and mutual tolerance among the citizens. Finn's happiness is also attributed to not taking things too seriously, to enjoying peace and silence. There it is. Peace and silence. Over and over, God talks have offered the idea of spending a bit of each day in silence. There are so many physical, mental, and emotional benefits. Now, because I spend my professional life critically listening to musicians and to individuals' private concerns, I not only enjoy, but neurologically, I require a period of silence each day. How about you? Finns say, our purpose isn't to earn money and be rich. We don't speak with each other ever about this matter. Very peaceful nature and how we protect it, enjoying little things, trusting the police, the president, the government, despite your opinion, freedom to the media, education, and Medicare. I remember when there was a level of trusting our president and government in the United States, and I believe that may be what people yearn for when they hearken back to the good old days. Can we get there again? Yes, we can. We can have more trust, but it must be earned, and it will take millions of individuals doing the work, voting for people who deserve to be trusted. Right now, each of us can just hold on and envision that in our future. When it is possible, we can each take a step towards it. All this is to say that each of us can cultivate that deep core within ourselves of calm, despite what is happening to us and for us externally. Letting outside forces determine our sense of steadiness is only going to disappoint. Searching for happiness based on someone else's behavior will fail us. Developing the contentment within is the key. Maybe we can allow ourselves to relax into that deep sense of beauty, of wholeness. You are a divine spark of the universe, a piece of stardust made of the same materials as the planets and the suns. Stay steady and let your light shine, my friend. Blessings on all.